Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bubblegum Reviews. My name is Steve, and tonight's review will be on the movie here next to me. Oh, what am I doing? We have Capricorn One. In this, we have Elliot Gould, James Brolin, Sam Waterston, O.J. Simpson, and Karen Black, and also Hal Holbrook. So, this is a first-time watch for me. The main reason I literally gave this a shot, one, is because I do like space movies, and two, because of the cast. Anyways, a little quick summary into this is, so 3 astronauts go into space only to actually not make it into space. And then there's a cover-up of why they didn't go, but they're supposed to fake like they're still in space. So first thing about this movie is, it's little over 2 hours. It could have been shorter, but at the same time, I just feel like they didn't cover the things that they needed to, some of the stuff. I did enjoy the reporter who's trying to figure out what happened to the guy he was just playing pool with, and then he gets his brake line cut, almost gets assassinated. The guy that he was playing pool with just randomly disappeared, and that guy just happened to be the one that knew there was a glitch in the system and wasn't sure why it was happening, and told his superiors only to... And then over here you have the 3 astronauts who were avoiding the bad guys with every turn because they were threatened if they didn't do it. And yes, I like how there's a lot of different stuff going on. The acting is good in this. The movie itself is really enjoyable, honestly. But the one thing I will say is the movie has kind of minimal to do with space, because they're not really in space. Like, they never actually make it into space. So it is a space movie, but it's not a space movie. Anyways, 1970. This movie was done in 1977. That's crazy. The movie itself, aside from the long run time, which it didn't bother me. I just feel like they didn't cover some of the things, and then the ending was kind of like, oh, so he's the only one, and what happened to the guys that were involved? There was a lot of unanswered questions, in my opinion, but the movie I did enjoy. Director in this, director that I'm actually very familiar with, Peter Hyams, who also did the movie Outland with Sean Connery, End of Days with Arnold, Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, and The Presidio with Sean Connery and I think Mark Harmon. I've seen all of those movies, and I actually like almost all of them. I'm not going to say I like End of Days just because I feel like that movie's actually crap, but I eventually will be rewatching that to make sure that's still the case. IMDb gave this a 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 61%. Videohound gave it a 3 out of 4. Bubblegum Reviews gave it an 8 out of 10. I gave it the most gracious one, I guess. I just feel like the movie was more my style. Peter Hyam definitely has a directing style, and Outland is a lot like this movie, because it's very, there's no high fast paced stuff, but it gets you there. It's just not you're not flooring it there. You're getting there, but it's not crazy. Box office at $12 million on a budget of $5 million, so it made $7 million back in 1977. That's not big money, but hey, in my opinion, as long as you're not losing money, you're doing something right. Unless, of course, you're supposed to be making money what are these movies? James Cameron, Avatar. So my interesting fact in this is Frank Tallman is the guy who flies the red crop duster. This guy actually, he not only did he say this is the most dangerous film he's ever been in, but he also he filmed it, and shortly after he was killed in a crash, very shortly after, which is crazy. But if you're a pilot, you run that chance. But anyways, that's it for that. Up next, we have a Disney, and we have Iron Man 2. I'm not sure which one of these I'm going to watch next, but Iron Man 2 I apparently haven't reviewed, so I got to get that in. And then we also have this here, The Princess and the Frog. This movie right here is probably one of the best Disney movies that's came out in recent years. I freaking love this movie. Like, Two Fingers, Paw, and the guys that are going after the frogs, that like frog hunting scene is it's hilarious. Anyways, that's it for those, or those are up next. So stay tuned. You guys have a good night. Like and subscribe. Check out my letterbox. Definitely check out my eBay. Speaking of letterbox, I don't know how much longer I'm actually going to do that. I might cut ties with my letterbox and just kind of focus on my YouTube, because there's times where I'm like keeping up with both of these. Yeah, we'll see. But as I have said, I did actually post some new stuff on my eBay, so check that out. All right, you guys have a good night. See you guys next time. Bubblegum out.